What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ziah from Ziah TV, back with another video. Along joining me is the Shizzy. We are going to do Singularity. It says a lot at the top, but everyone just calls it Singularity, so that's what we're going to call it. I've seen this one requested a lot, not only from people in the comment section to like people on our Patreon and our fan Discord and stuff like that. So obviously this has to be a fantastic song. Banger. Okay, so we're going to get into this. Before that, though, we have some new patrons to shout out.
I just want to say thank you guys so much. Okay, we really, really do appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea. Every time my phone buzzes and it's like new patron, it's like I just get like butterflies, you know? Like it's just like, oh my god.
You guys make this worth it for sure, and we really do appreciate the people who do want to join our Patreon. Okay, and if you guys don't want to join our Patreon, don't feel pressured into that. Okay, thank you.
Exactly. All right, so we have. When be ill. That's it's kind of weird. It's like when.
Oh, it's like Wendy, but when be.
Yeah, but like when be 00403, whatever.
Yeah,
thank you so much, supporter to your patron. We have Teresa Tucker with the loyal supporter. Thank you so much. Gabby, loyal supporter. SJ supporter, JJ loyal supporter, and BTS forever loyal supporter. I love it, BTS forever.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you all to our new patrons. Thank you so much. Welcome. By the time you're seeing this video, if you did $3 or more, I've sent you the link to the Discord and everything. Make sure to join that if you want. You don't have to, but it's there. It's a perk.
Yep.
But yeah, so here is the updated list. As you can see, it's now on like 2 pages.
Yeah, I love that it's got 2 pages.
It's got scrolling stuff. That makes me so happy.
It's working.
So that's awesome. But anyway. We will get into this.
Yeah.
If you're ready and you're ready, then let's do it. Okay, all will be forgiven. Your indiscretions will be overlooked.
낯설음 가득한 소리 귀를 막아보지만 잠에 들지 못해 목이 자꾸 아파와 감싸보려 하지마.
This is almost thrown me for a loop because, you know, I think basically every song that we've heard by BTS has either been like rap, so like upbeat rap, or it's been like more of like the popish and stuff. I know Black Swan's a little bit different, but it still kind of had that
little pop tone in there.
Yeah, a little pop tone. This is very much like soul, like R&B, like slow jam feel, and like. I was like sitting there and I was like, I mean, the music video, like, you know, the mannequin and everything, like, I'm kind of stunned right now because I was like trying to take in everything that was going on, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, my brain wasn't ready for this.
Dude, there's some sexiness in there. I know why you guys are wanting to watch this. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest.
It's so smooth, like his voice and everything. Like he came in, he's like
the beat, like the little undertone drums going on, right? And then the camera changes to that like white plane, right, and his hand on it. And it's just like it's this real focus on his hand, right?
Yeah.
Which I think you can see also in this where we paused, right? The hands on there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of seeing if there's any motif carried on there. I do want to go back and listen to that again. Are you down for that?
Yeah, no, I'm totally down. BTS doesn't care if it's longer. It'll help me because I was trying to pay attention to the lyrics too and fully grasp.
But the music video was so encapsulated.
Yeah, and so like I would like look at the lyrics and be like, okay, and try to figure out what it was about. But I don't think I have enough information yet to fully understand. Because it's easy to be like, oh, this is a love song because of the sounds and everything. Yeah. But it's BTS. There's always more.
Yeah, no, I do want to. I was paying attention to the music video, and I definitely want to look at the lyrics more now.
Okay, let's go.
Sounds so good.
낯설음 가득한 소리 귀를 막아보지만 잠에 들지 못해 목이 자꾸 아파와 감싸보려 하지마 나에게
I think it's also interesting to note that there's the dancers are not BTS.
I know. I'm like, so this isn't his solo song. So I'm kind of wondering, like, if we just gotta watch through. I think.
Yeah, we just gotta watch through.
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting because, like, I saw them dancing. I'm like, that's not.
Yeah, that's not BTS.
That's not Jimin or RM or Suga or any of them. The fuck?
Throwing me now.
Well, J-Hope.
No.
I like this scene.
Yeah.
With the blue in the back, especially the light coming through. It's so aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I think we saw this set in one of the other videos. I'm forgetting which one it is, but it was very like concrete and had like a waterfall coming into the back.
That was either Black Swan or the one we... No, that wasn't Black Swan. It was the one that we did on our live stream.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what it was.
You guys will remind us.
You guys will remind us, yeah.
So smooth.
Okay, for one, the mask thing is so crazy. I'm not sure off the top of my head what specifically they're using, you know, because obviously the room is dark, so they have something back there that's making the mask appear and stuff like that. I just think that's really cool.
I'm hoping that it's like a bunch of guys in like blacked out outfits, right? And they just played with the contrast so you couldn't see them at all, and then they're actually doing the dance with him. I'm really hoping that's what it is.
That's really cool.
Yeah, there was a part where he's talking about like his throat was in pain, and then he's trying to cover it up, but because he has no voice, right? It almost feels like there's a suffocating motif, almost like a Black Swan vibe in this as well. Right? Where unless like almost like a depression, okay? So like maybe he is feeling like he is in the slumber and he just can't wake up, and like this repetitive sound, this ringing, right? Just like, and then he also talked about an unfamiliar sound as well. So I'm not sure if like
unfamiliar could be the thing that pulls you out of the depression.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was kind of thinking is like maybe he needs to like the crack in the frozen, right? Like that's the break he needs to go through, and he needs to take the plunge. But you know, I'm just speculating here. Spitballing.
I want to play this out a little bit more. I have a theory. We'll let it play more to see if I get more context on that theory. But then I'll come back and let you guys know.
Don't know.
잠시 들어간 꿈속에도 나를 괴롭히는 환상통은 여전해.
That's cool.
That's very cool because they have like the phantoms in the music video and stuff. So that's a cool line.
Yeah, that's a really cool line, and I kind of like this. I think I'm piecing together what's going on, right? I think this is about like in a relationship. Like he talks about how he buried his voice for her or for you, right? It's like almost like he's shuttering himself and like changing himself, right? And then like even after like them like leaving or like separating, right? There's still that phantom pain that hurts. Like if you guys understand phantom pain, it's like some vets or like some people who've had amputated legs, right? They'll still feel the pain in their leg after it's been cut off, right? They'll still feel that
Sounds
pain.
weird, but it really does happen.
It's your brain playing a trick on you, right? And the same kind of idea is like when you leave a relationship, you still hurt. You're still like in so much pain. And the song and like the tone and the beat really feels like
that
pain.
Melodramatic almost.
Yeah.
So that I'm glad you said that because that goes along with my theory because what I was starting to piece together and take it is when you're in a relationship, especially one that can be like toxic or one where you feel like you have to change yourself for the other person, it's like your voice no longer matters. So it's like you having to shut off kind of like your true self to appease this other person. And that can very much feel in its own way like your own state of depression where like you can't be yourself but you don't want to like hurt this other person.
Yeah.
And so you're constantly fighting back and forth with like trying to appease them, trying to be yourself. And it's a losing battle because you never win. Like you lose yourself and you keep the person, or you lose the person.
Yeah.
And for you, that can feel like a lose-lose, but at the end of the day, like, you can't change yourself for people.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that it's really, really cool with the imagery of, like, you know, the cracked legs and stuff like that, feeling suffocated.
Yeah, also,
don't have a voice.
The thick ice forming over it is like that barrier, that wall. Yeah. He's almost like trapping his own heart in, right? Because you're saying, like, he's like either personality or like who you are, or your voice, I guess, in that case, or like your relationship, right? Yep. And he's like, well, I've got to trap myself in because I want this relationship. And I think that goes so well with the title of the song, Singularity, right? Yep. So to be a singular and then love yourself as a single thing, right? Mm-hmm. I think that maybe the second half, or like kind of as we come into the second half of the song, we'll see more of like, hey, like you need to be you. Because the first part definitely feels like I'm trapped.
It sets the scene for how he's feeling and those emotions that you would feel if you were in that situation. And I can tell, like, through the transition, now it's starting to talk more about, like you're saying, coming out of that or loving yourself and stuff.
Yeah, it definitely left it a little bit more open ended, and now it's like being like, hey. I think this is kind of what we're doing.
I think another reason about singularity, because a singularity is like a finite point. It's like the absolute like smallest finite point that you can get to, you know. So a black hole can like create a singularity, like that's something you can use to think of, right? And I think where that ties into with the title also is when you are in this, if you've ever been in that state of like depression or that state of like lostness in the thick and feeling like, you know, like there's the ice, you can't get over there, that almost feels like a singularity. You're all alone, you're by yourself in your own world.
It's all encompassing. Everything just gets like put, and
it's just like, it's like this, you know, and it's like,
it's suffocating.
It is. And I think that's what he's describing. Now, again, we could be completely wrong about this. This is our interpretation, but like, I really like I like that if that's what it is. If it's not, totally fine. I think that's cool.
I'm ready for this though.
부탁해 아무 말도 하지마 입을 막으려 손을 뻗어보지만 결국엔
It's so beautiful, dude.
That's so much beautiful imagery being painted. So I think what he's saying reinforces what we're saying.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he what was the first lines that came out? Have I lost myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, have I lost my... Well, I'll play it.
I think it's this line.
Exactly. Yeah, that kind of goes with what we were saying was like, have I lost myself or have I gained you? And that goes along with the fact that it's like, you know, even he's questioning it. He's like, you know, did I lose myself catering to your needs and stuff like that? And I think that's really interesting because, you know, relationships, you do have to sacrifice in relationships. You know, a big part of relationships is... all right, so what you didn't see off camera is that I'm a complete fucking idiot, and I couldn't think of the word compromise for the life of me.
We brain farted super hard.
So hard. But so in relationships, you have to compromise. That's part of a relationship.
Yeah.
And I think where this kind of song also explains it, or also brings it to light, and something that a lot of people don't really talk about is the fact that there's a fine line between making sacrifices and compromising in a relationship. And doing it too much to the point where, like, this is explaining, like, losing yourself and, you know, because, like, the thing is you should do what's best for your partner, but at some point you have to understand that, like, if it's detrimental towards who you are as a person, that's when you kind of got to revisit and be like, is this the right thing to do? Yeah.
I also want to attack something real quick. So the word gained, it almost feels like it's an object, you know what I mean? And I think that's really, really kind of weird. I wonder if that's like the translation for that. But if you go back to the beginning of the music video when it's like the mannequin or like the rack or whatever, and it's like it's a physical object, right? It's not a woman. It would have been really easy to put a woman in that place during that dance. But they used a physical object, right? And they're talking about how like I gained you. It's like you never, I'm like, oh, I just gained you as a new friend. And it's like, no, I have a new friend now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like a weird terminology. And I like that in the beginning, he's kind of like controlling himself through her. Or like, there's so much.
Yeah, because he's the one that's kind of like moving the mannequin and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the illusion that the mannequin is making you do these things.
Yeah.
But you're really making you do this. Because at the end of the day, like if someone wants you to be a certain way in a relationship, you're not. You don't have to be that way.
Yeah.
You know? You tell yourself like, oh, I have to be this way for them.
Yeah.
And so you kind of put the blame on them. But really it's on you because you're the one that made the choice. That's what
you really want. Yeah.
That's the one. You chose to change and be that person. Even if you know it's not what you wanted to do. Instead of like being like, hey, this is who I am. You have to either accept me for me or there's no point to this. Like you can't make it work. And something else about the mannequins that I noticed is when they went back, I believe, I could be wrong. I want to make sure. Everyone else was touching him, but this time now he's not.
Yeah, and he is by himself, and he's kind of seeing everything else like around him. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was like a really cool.
Also, I think it's kind of weird that like there's no actual women in this, like no female dancers. I wonder
or
if that's
other
like
BTS members. Also, one real quick. I know we paused for a long time on this one, but there's a lot to unpack. I mean, this song is definitely
deep.
Yeah. So the part where he's like, I suddenly run to the lake, there's my face in it. And then he says, like, he like puts his hand over the mouth. Please don't say, reach my hand out to cover the mouth. I think that's really, really interesting. And that can mean a ton of different things, right?
Yeah, I think that's him, like, again, himself talking to himself, right? Controlling himself. And he's like, no, please don't do it.
Yeah, because I think
stopping himself.
This song has a progression. It has a progression of like the start of like the feelings that you would get when you're in his situation, in the situation he's describing. And slowly through the progression, you follow his journey through coming out of that. And so with this, it's like he goes back to the lake. He revisits that version of himself.
The one that's been submersed and covered by that thick ice.
He reaches out, he covers his neck, like, don't say it. He's like, no, like, it's time to move on. You know, I lived like that long enough. It's time for me to move on and rise above.
It's so cool. But that could also be his phantom pain inside in the ice, and like the mirroring self.
Those feelings, because when it comes to pain, whether you have PTSD or not, like things that have hurt us in our past randomly will pop back in your everyday life, and
you have no control.
No control. It just comes back, and it's like
it
a phantom pain.
It could be a sound, a smell, just a random
place,
day.
a location.
Yeah.
There's so many triggers for that stuff, and I think that's kind of part of what's going on.
Because there's this real focus on the lake, right? I want to know kind of if you guys can enlighten us on that, and like if there's any like Korean
like culture,
like reference to the lake or something. Or there's a spiritual meaning for the lake. Because I know like back, like even in like old English tales or whatever, there was like always monsters or spirits or all knowing.
The Lady of the Lake.
Lady of the Lake, exactly.
The one that actually gives King Arthur Excalibur.
Yeah.
The sword he pulls out of the stone is not Excalibur. Such a common misconception. But anyway.
Yeah, we'll move on.
I
love the dance.
Those aren't humans. They're on something that can be easily moved, like a pole or something like that.
You sure?
Yeah, because if you pay really close attention to the movements, you can tell they're
very jerked. Yeah,
they're attached to something.
I don't know, because it almost looks like they're stepping there.
Like, I feel like it's too smooth. I feel like it's some type of like maybe even like a robotic system.
I'm gonna look up behind the scenes after.
Yeah.
Tell me 내 목소리가 그처럼요 날 버리지 말았어야 했는지 Tell me 고통조차 그자라면
Yeah, and that goes back to like the whole phantom pains. It's like tell me this, because like sometimes you feel like your pain isn't justified, right? You're like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I sad today? Right?
Yeah, I'm over it. It's been years. You know,
like,
whatever you tell yourself.
Like, no, it's like this.
And
is
also, you know,
this is such a powerful fucking song.
It is very powerful song.
It's killing me.
I love this where he's like, tell me if my voice isn't real, if I shouldn't have thrown myself away. Yeah. And that kind of ties it back into the beginning.
He disregarded his voice as
who he truly was. Your voice can often be like, your true voice is often described as like who you truly are. Mm-hmm. You know, and a lot of people suppress their true voice. And so I think that's what he's saying. He's like, it's almost as if he's talking to this woman. And again, the woman could be an allegory for something else.
I think he's also talking to himself.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, we threw that away.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like that's the thing is like he's saying he's like you know, almost like justify it for me, like tell me I shouldn't have done this, or almost like trying to reiterate his point where he's like, tell me I shouldn't have done this, tell me I shouldn't have thrown myself away, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you can't, because you know it's the wrong thing.
Yeah. Also, just to throw it out there, right? This could also not be a woman, right? We are not.
Yeah, I think it could be similar to. What was it? Black Swan, where they use words. I think it was Black Swan, where they use words and kind of describe, because you can almost be like, oh, it's a love song about a woman or something like that. Yeah. But the woman figure is just an allegory for something else in life, and I think that could be also what's happening here. I just don't know for a fact.
Yeah, exactly. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. Okay. Also, really quick, let me see if I can find it. This right here, I love this particular part in the music video. Like, it's so interesting. It has like the roses and like everything, and like the little like lake type thing, and it's just like a little pool of water, and all the like I think it's newspapers covering it. It's so interesting. I'm sure there's a deep meaning behind this. I have no idea. But I love the look of it.
I'm going to take a crack at it, okay? So one, we've gone from this frozen lake to this flowing water, right? And everyone knows, like, water is like this, like, rebirth, or like this renewal, right? I think the refluxema is like the word we use, right? It's like these healing waters. And like, I love this, right? Because it's got the water, right? It's got the reflection. We've talked about like how he's looking at himself. He's talked about talking to himself through the lake, right? And then you have like all these flowers and life, right? And then you have like just random noise on the outside. And like going back to your singularity, right? So like at like any point, there's life still going on. There's all this random stuff going on, like at the outside world, right? But no, here he is focused right on himself. Like everything is focused on reflection. Which I think also ties into the bars of like the lines about like the reflection, the lake, and everything. But also because he said, you know, one day the spring will come, and you have these flowers, you know, that are in full bloom, very typical of spring and stuff like that. So it's just very, very beautiful imagery, incredibly well done. And maybe the flowers birthing, that's like his rebirth as well. Yeah, because like flowers bloom, that's an allegory for rebirth or whatever. Yeah, or it's such a cool song.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah.
Oh.
I love the love theory.
Yeah. I really liked when it had the camera underneath. Had the camera underneath, right? We're looking up at him. It almost made us feel like his submerged self, looking at his freed self.
It's more of like this is like how I feel like you're now that I've explained my pain to you through this song, you can get how I was feeling in that situation. So it's kind of like that final like
maybe you're here and like you need to get up to here, right? You need to get to that rebirth, right? What a freaking cool song.
And the final line in the song where he's like, tell me, what was I supposed to do? I feel like that's really interesting, and that kind of ties the theme all together, because in situations like that, and not just this specific situation, but I feel like a lot of situations in life, you get put in, like, stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Like, you get put in situations like that where, like, you don't know you don't know which one to do. You're like, should I, like, how much of my soul or how much of my true self should I suppress for this person?
Yeah.
How much of me should I still keep me and not let them take over? And you don't know. Like, you don't have the answer. And we've all been in situations where we just don't know the right answer.
Yeah, and then looking back on it, it's like, man, I wish I could have just told myself, like, get out of there, save yourself, right? And that's kind of what you do is you learn, you have these experiences, you have these traumatic experiences, right? But we all learn from it. Pain is a learning experience, right?
Yeah.
And so I think...
It's one of the best teachers in the world.
Yeah. Fire's hot. But, like, it teaches us really, really well that, like, hey... Looking back on it, it can feel so encompassing, right? It can feel so pressured, but you can break free of that.
Yeah.
I think it's a really beautiful message.
Beautiful, beautiful song. And if that's not the actual message of the song...
goddamn, I will, like...
Yeah, I would be surprised. And if it's not, that's totally fine, you know? I think that our interpretation that we pulled out of it is still very powerful.
Yeah.
And the fact that... Like, I would also be impressed if it wasn't, because the fact that, like, you were able to deliver that message to us specifically and not have it be the actual message of the song would be super cool, too.
Yeah.
So, either way, I think it's really powerful, really impressive. Everything about it. It was interesting, too, to see a song that was labeled as BTS,
but
only had one member
in
it. I thought that was really interesting, too. And it was really good. Like, there is not many songs in my life that I will say I've heard that paints as beautiful imagery as that song did. Mm-hmm. You know, he did an excellent job of painting that imagery. It was just incredible. I think that overall, the message, what I interpret is the message and the meaning of the song is very, very powerful. Yeah. You know, and I know this is a long video, and I like the fact that it was long because it allows us to really delve deep into a song that requires deeper delving into and to pull out these messages. So, like, you know, I just want to leave it with this. Like, it's an incredibly powerful message. You know, one that I think we can all take to heart. It's very relatable because we've all been in situations where we just don't know the right answer.
Yeah. And we wish we could look back and tell ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I just want you to know, you know, like, as a final message about that is, I know oftentimes we will make decisions and they won't always be the right decision, or we feel like it wasn't the right decision and we're like, oh man, if only I did this different or made this different. And you feel like that would have been like the better one. The truth is you have no proof that would have been better.
Yeah.
You know, you can make inferences all day, but if it didn't actually happen, you have no proof. It could have been worse. It might seem better, like, oh, well, if I would have done this.
Grass is always greener.
Yeah, people as the grass, it's not always greener on the other side. That's just the truth of it. So just take that in mind, walk through life, go ahead and make your mistakes. Mistakes are some of the best things you can do in life, honestly, because that's how you learn. You don't really learn when you're succeeding. You learn when you make mistakes. So just take that to heart.
Really simply enough, you don't learn how to shoot a basketball until you shoot a basketball. And you're going to miss a lot.
Yeah.
So.
You think Michael Jordan didn't miss?
Yeah.
LeBron, Kobe?
Yeah. The greats weren't great because that birthday could paint. The greats were great because they paint a lot.
Exactly.
Mackerel.
So, I like that. So, anyway, I know this video is getting a little long. If you want to support us and have like song requests and stuff like that, because it's easier on our Discord, go to patreon.com/ZiahTV. $3 or more gets you a private Discord. We will be having a Patreon live stream. Patreon only live stream coming up. The live stream will be posted on YouTube on a later date, but only people that are in the Patreon, any patron tier can actually go to the live stream when it's live and stuff like that. So, a ton of cool stuff coming up. Merch hopefully coming soon too. Still working on that.
Live stream for the YouTube coming soon. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Still waiting on internet issues.
And we'll be doing some really cool stuff in the Patreon live stream.
And because it's been a minute, fuck you, Pooh Shiesty. Maybe on Twitter.
Yeah, we'll be doing things like The Life of BTS. A lot of like the ones that you want us to react to that aren't songs, but they're more about getting to know BTS. We want to do that together with you guys, have you guys help fill in the blanks and stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's all the time we have for you today. We will see you in the next one. That'll be cool. That'll be a really cool thumbnail. Make it a little trippy. Okay.
God damn, I'm beautiful.
Then you go to the other side. It's so fucking zoomed in. You're a fucking monster. Tell him, bro.
Game the fucking. Oh yeah. Wow. Yo, what the fuck, dude?
Bro, I'm telling you.
Dude, you gotta like get in there.
Get in there. Oh God, you can see all the imperfection. I don't know. This is why women are insecure. They stare at that all day, like I'm ugly. And you're like, realize no one's eyes can see what you see in that mirror.
This is what he sees when he kisses me.
Y'all wanna come up, your man better step up. Matter of fact, bed just watch from my checkup. Matter of fact, bed just stop in the flex up. Matter of fact, just know I'm finna blow up. Wait, hold up, is it too late? Just set the record straight.